everyone. Today's Power Boost is on forgiveness and how to let go. One of the ways that we position ourselves in relationships can be consciously or subconsciously a mindset of my happiness is in your hands. But that also means that you can be the cause of my sorrow. No, in general speaking, this can be a mindset with which we stand in relationships, consciously or subconsciously. And it is actually a victim mindset, a mindset of inner emptiness, a mindset of dependency. I need you to be happy, but that also means you are the one who can cause me sorrow. Because when you do not do what I want or how I want, or when you do things unexpectedly, I can be hurt because I feel I am dependent on you for my happiness. And this is a positioning that is not very helpful and not very healthy, neither for ourselves nor for the other. The other way that we can position ourselves in interactions and in relationships with others is I am responsible for my own thoughts and for my own feelings. And I am responsible for what I bring into this interaction, into this relationship. And you are responsible for what you think and you feel and what you bring into this interaction. But we are not responsible for each other's happiness or for each other's sorrow either. We are responsible for our own inner state. And that is a state where there is internal emotional independence. And for that, we need to do some soul searching for ourselves. We need to have a clear vision of ourselves and our aim and our purpose in life and our purpose in a relationship. If we don't do that, we are extremely vulnerable. And then whatever happens, we quickly go into the mode of blaming. You did this to me. You did that to me. You made me suffer. And it may be, very well may be, that the behavior of the other is not appropriate, that the behavior of the other can maybe even be violent or not respectful. But instead of going into this victim mode, let me position myself in a way of what do I have to learn here and how can I respond in an adequate way. So instead of blaming, using that energy to discern and decide what I need to make more strong in myself and what I need to do to shift this around for myself. What is, in other words, what is the lesson for me to learn? And not stay in this dependency mode and hoping that the other will change based upon my blaming them and my appealing to some sense of justice, of fairness, or conscience of the other, which may even be right, but it keeps me in the weak and dependent mode. And nothing gets resolved by doing that. Let me take responsibility for my own thoughts and my own feelings and my own mood and my own life and my own stage. And I can share that with others if I want to or not. But I don't need to be dependent on them for my well-being. And actually, that is not very fair even to do that. To expect others to make me happy. That should be my own job, not the job of anybody else. And when I'm happy and my tools and my experiences, I can share that with someone else. But they are in charge of their own happiness, even if these are intimate relationships. Otherwise, we create jail and trap for each other. And we just become weaker and weaker and weaker, expecting the other to solve and to save me and to put me on a pedestal. That is not very fair, and it is also not useful, but it won't work anyway. And so if there is a difficult situation, if there is something happening in an interaction where one feels that the rules of respect have been trampled on, or decency has been broken, learn the lesson and move on. Be thankful that the lesson is there, that you can be empowered, that you can be stepping into the future with more wisdom, with more clarity, and with more inner strength. So no need to hold grudges, and blaming doesn't help anyone. If I hold my self-respect and hold that emotional independence and move my own life forward and hold good wishes for the other, no matter what the behavior, no matter what the interaction may have been like, but at least I can have good wishes that they also find their inner strength and power. Then I can let go, move on. But to just sit there and blame and feel sad and blame some more, make the other feel more guilty, that makes me weaker and makes them weaker also. It doesn't resolve anything. So these are some things to reflect on. But if you want to truly take this even a step further and build your own independent inner strength, it is definitely useful to take your spiritual journey and your spiritual practices more seriously. Meditate regularly and expose yourself to spiritual wisdom to create power in your intellect, to be more clear and discern, and be able to make right choices for yourself instead of sitting and blaming others, consciously or subconsciously. That doesn't help you nor the other. It just many times makes the relationship worse, in a downward spiral, until two people end up hating each other and maybe even destroying each other. We don't want to end up there. There is no need for that. But all we need to do is take responsibility for ourselves, for our lives, for our actions, for our thoughts, for our responses, for our choices. and get into a deeper mode of self-respect, and getting to know the self as a spiritual being will definitely help in that. Okay, so let's have a few minutes of meditation, reflecting on this independence and this true self. So as we create the awareness that there is a physical dimension, but there is also a non-physical dimension, we begin to reflect on who am I. In terms of the physical dimension, what we can perceive is this body, the physical appearance, the physical associations, the manifestations of thoughts and feelings that are on the face and that are expressed through gestures and body language and actions and words. But who is the one who is operating this body? Who is the one who is creating thoughts? Who is the one who is experiencing feelings and emotions? That one is not physical. It's not the brain or the body, because corpse has a brain, corpse has a body, but there is no living being there. The real self is the eternal, timeless, immortal being of consciousness, who is invisible, and who is imperishable. A being of light, innately peaceful, innately loving, innocent, free, timeless, living light. And on the screen of your mind, just hold this image of a tiny star, as opposed to the image of the physical body and the appearance. Body is like the vehicle, but the soul, this invisible experiencer, timeless, a spiritual being. This is the real self. And just hold this in your mind. A tiny star, serene, clean, peaceful light. Not a human being, but a spiritual being, conscient, pure, free, imperishable light. And everyone is this, a soul. We are a family of souls playing a human part, using a human body to play this game of life for a temporary period. But we eternally exist as souls. When we forget that, we get trapped. We forget who we truly are. We lose our sense of self and our self-respect and get trapped in all kinds of limited bondages and interactions, seeking, desiring, needy. When we wake up, realize, and are aware of the truth and the beauty of who we are, there will be natural love for self and natural respect for self. And we won't absorb waste or negativity from the world around or from others. When we wake up to our eternal connection with God, we will have no time to drown ourselves in useless, empty expectations and desires that are limited. And so as we go through the journey, as we go about our day-to-day activities, let us aim to hold this awareness of true self, beautiful, free, peaceful, loveful soul. Thank you.